Hey there, so it's the end of the 1 week that I'm here at the Dreams Tulum Resort and Spa, and it's got some pros, but it's got some cons as well. So I want to give you kind of my real review here in general. I think the first thing is the property itself. It's some of the best landscaping, some of the best views day and night that you can have as on a property. I think they did a really good job. And I think it was unique because instead of having your regular Mayan style kind of resort, this is very much like a colonial Spanish kind of style resort, and I really appreciated something that was a little bit different in terms of that view. The rooms were great. I had a privileged swim out. I didn't use the swim out that much because it was a little bit cold, but it's there. It's behind me, and I dipped my feet in it, and the vibe was good. The landscaping in the middle was good too, so it's nice and relaxing to be able to do that in the morning. Fully stocked bar, mini bar. Drinks were great. The drinks were available. They were here. You weren't going to get any shortage. The bartenders were quick, and they got you exactly what you were looking for. The bathrooms were fine. There was hot water. They had all the amenities that you're looking for. No problems there. The other thing that I'd say is the spa. The spa was actually one of the best spa experiences that I've had on a resort. Pricey, but I find most spas on a resort pretty pricey in general. But just the entrance, the kind of coming into this kind of circular kind of room with the hot spas, and you're like kind of catered to. You're kind of laying down, and they give you tea and cookies, and then the massage is like as they're doing one part of your body, they're laying like hot items around your body in the areas that they're not working on. Like it was the best massage that I've ever had, and that was hands down. So the spa was really good. The other thing that was really good is that I had my niece with me during this trip, and the play area or the kids club was absolutely phenomenal. It had probably one of the biggest water features there, and she really didn't want to leave. She begged to keep going to that, and it was hard for her to participate in any other activities we wanted to do because she was with us, and she wanted to she wanted to be there. She didn't want to be with us. So I would say that was very sad. But just walking around the resort, it's an absolutely stunning resort. The cons, unfortunately, the cons are deal breaker cons for me, and likely you'll see at the end of this that I wouldn't be recommending this resort for somebody to attend. I think some of the cons is the food is extremely inconsistent. There was the first couple days, like I was just having, the first day I was here was like horrible, and then as a privileged guest you get to eat breakfast in one of the restaurants, and that was one of the worst breakfasts I had in my life. There was eggshells inside all of my eggs, and it was just, the food was totally horrible. And it was only until the third day I was here that we hit one of the restaurants, Bordeaux, that I was like, oh my god, this is delicious. And then the buffet turned out to be good some of the days, and some of the food was okay. It was good to have a sushi boat. I love a good sushi boat. That was fun as well. But in general, the food was so inconsistent. And I don't mean like a little bit inconsistent. I mean like pretty dramatically inconsistent. And I'm a big food person, so having to navigate food in that type of way is pretty much a deal breaker for me. Like, it's not going to be a resort that I would return to for that reason. The other thing is the beach. The beach is really confusing. You have like the swim place over here on one side of the resort, but it's like a 10-minute walk from where the palapas are and where you're actually sitting in the sun. And I just don't understand why they would have designed the beach that way, or why they're not thinking about redesigning it. You want to go water to Palapa, back to water, back to Palapa. So I only spent the first day at the beach, and then I figured, like, this isn't fun for me. I'd rather sit at the pool. Can't say anything bad about the pool. The pool and the foam party was actually on the pro side. I probably should have added that. They're pretty decent, and I would probably recommend those. But the beach wouldn't be something that I would go for. But I think the thing that really killed it at the end of it was the customer service. I think the service I had every table, every time I went on the buffet, every time I went to eat, like we'd have plates piling on top of each other, kind of like as we were going to get new plates at the buffet, and nobody was picking them up. It got to the point where I had to actually move the plates to a different table, or move it to where they were cleaning things in order to move the plates. Drinks, like to get coffee, like I was almost done my breakfast before they would actually ask me if I wanted coffee. I was like, yeah, I did want coffee, but I'm kind of leaving. And it wasn't just one or two meals. Like that was the consistent theme that I got at every meal, every restaurant that I was going to, is that nobody seemed to be happy. Nobody seemed to want to be able to serve. I know some people are saying, don't be lazy, do your own shit or something like that. But I don't know. If you're paying for the privilege, you're paying for the upgrade, you're paying for the swim out, you're paying for all these extra services, that's kind of like what you're paying for. And so it was kind of a shame, And I don't think I have high expectations, because I go to other resorts. This, as you know, this is not my first. This is my fifth time in the Riviera Maya, and every resort that I've gone to beforehand had excellent food, excellent service, and Mexico beaches are meh. I think that I like the beaches better in Dominican, but most of them still had the palapas on the actual beach where you swim. So that was a little bit strange too. So then it kind of like falls 50-50. But then if I'm going to be recommending a hotel to somebody, then like I'm going to be recommending a hotel that doesn't have 50 pluses and 50 cons. There's lots of hotels with beautiful landscaping and beautiful buildings. There's lots of hotels with good spas. But when you have to eat 3 meals a day, and if you're not happy with the food at all, then it's killing it. The service, if that's not there, that absolutely kills it. And some people, the beach is a killer. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't put anybody or my clients to come to Dreams Tulum. Room was nice, swim out was nice. Kids area is nice, but I'm not a kid, so that really makes no difference to me. Who this resort's for, I would say if you like things to be contained in one location, then this resort's really good for you as well. I think that was positive, to have all the restaurants, all the pools, and the beach all in one area. That way it didn't feel like you were bouncing around the resort to trying to get to different locations. It was all in one area. Once you know where your room is, then obviously you're going to walk back to your room. The resort wasn't tiny, but it also wasn't massive. And it was good. So, I would say somebody who doesn't like to do a lot of moving from one location throughout the day, it'd be a good resort. Somebody who wants something that's a little bit different than the regular Mayan theme resorts, and more of a colonial resort, it'd be a good resort for them. But I think from there, until I hear things changing, especially on the food front, it's not something that I would recommend. So, and that's just my opinion. Like, maybe you come in a week after me and everything changes and everything's different. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe there was a serious event that put a damper on the mood to everybody that was working here. But right now, this is the experience that I've had when I'm here. Because I've been to Riviera Maya 5 times, I know what is capable to have as an experience. So I think because I have that difference of understanding, then I would go to a hotel or a chain of hotels that I know the experience is a little bit different. So, anyways, so if you have a different opinion, if you've been to this resort, Dreams Tulum, maybe there are other Dreams resorts that are much higher end and much in terms of being able to see, let me know. But other than that, this is just my opinion for today.